One, two, 1, 2. Where's my audio? Ha. Anyway, we're going to jump right into it. There's some action going off. Crazy Friday, crazy week. Hope everyone is well. We'll be hanging out here. And we'll see who pops in and hangs out with us. There is a standoff situation popping off right now. We'll get that going in a bit. Actually, let's see what is going on with our audio here. Hope everyone's well. I'm having a heavy one. It's been wild all week. But we're still pushing forward. Who's jumping in here? I see Gustavo and Izzy Pop. What's up, y'all? We're going to check out this standoff situation happening live here in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I think that's smoke.
Started as a slow speed chase in the Hollywood area.
Come on, let's get this done because I want to see some stuff.
Let's forward this. Pop that. Oh, whoops. Come on, dwarf, get this going. There we go.
Oh no, he didn't leave the CS guys. He's still standing there. I just didn't see him.
Roger.
I'm old.
What's going on? Jackie, I was thinking about you yesterday. Haven't seen you for a bit. Was wondering about you. Hope you're well. How are you?
You're offline. Thank you, phone, for letting me know that.
And I thought of you because Flash of Beauty was on live yesterday. I didn't see you. Were you in the chat? Didn't see you in the chat. You've been keeping low key. That's always good.
I wonder if they. I don't think they fight over it.
We got
but
a
I wonder
taco.
If it's like
you know, we're taco
where
gang
you are
here.
In the ranks,
Tacoma
which
gang.
vehicle you get to drive.
TRD.
There we go. They're breaking out the stick.
Here we go. The stick's out.
Putting the CS gas on it.
Loading up some gas canisters there. Viewer discretion be advised.
Really, guys?
So the armored trucks.
Change it from the last time? My God.
So the armored trucks. Now I got this new. Now I know what this ducking here is for. I won't be talking over
once we set it up.
The audio that's playing now. Hopefully this is working. But yeah, the armored trucks are surrounded the taco there. Taco took off from Hollywood. It was a domestic situation. Slow speed chase all the way to the. I think they're up in like Mulholland Drive.
You guys are sucking up all
the canyon somewhere. And it's been going on over an hour. And finally, SWAT's here.
I need
Skylink. You can see how they got the car, the truck, the rig.
Oh, they got a smaller stick.
I don't know how she's going to get out. Ooh, Roger.
What's that?
Glad the dog's okay. Yeah, my dog would go after. She goes after snakes.
How's he going to use it? He's in a worse position than anybody.
And we will be hanging out for quite a bit here. So heads up to everyone coming in. Welcome in.
Oh, there's still nothing in there, though. That's the CS gas deployer thing. Reading the
Chi, greetings and welcome. Good to see you.
They're making a plan. Either that or
you've gotten some rest. Busy Bee. Midwest Night Watch has been nonstop.
Adjustable joint. Come on, guys.
Salute to Blue Line Bigfoot.
I wonder if she
Cheers,
woke up this
gentlemen.
morning and said,
Or is it just
we're
one of
going
you
to
right
meet a
now?
bunch of nice guys today. And this is, you know, her guardian angel with a sense of humor.
So it's a female in the vehicle. And you could see they got the megaphone out.
Yeah, I don't think she's going to. I'm pretty sure whatever you're telling her, it's not changing her mind.
Smoke and Scan is covering. He covered the speed. Well, it wasn't a speed. The slow chase.
Yeah, it's like she.
And
Yeah,
we're going into like
it's
an
not,
hour and a half.
I wonder if
almost
it's like
2
they
hours
just have like
already
a
with this
checklist. Like,
situation.
yes,
The
we
standoff's been
told
going
her
on
this many
maybe
times.
going on
You know,
into
we
an hour.
warned her this many times. We explained that the gas is going to irritate
And not far
her,
from here.
you know, throat, eyes, and ears and nose, you know.
What's up, Gerald? How you doing? Hopefully you've gotten some rest. Or you still pushing? It's been a crazy
oh my
week.
goodness, we like really
And
are
yeah,
just
things
live.
are definitely topping off here this Friday. We'll see what else
Live from
happens.
New York.
A lot going on in my world, and yeah, we'll hang out. We'll get into some things.
I
got
wonder
some
if he's
things lined
talking
up.
because they're seeing something.
Check some
You know what I mean?
webcams and
Like if they
get into
like
some
they, you know, there's
Bigfoot
the window's
news.
broken, so maybe they are seeing some movement.
They shot out the windows with BB guns. And I don't know if they shot some bean bags in also already, but if you notice in the back cab window, there's some
You know what?
holes
Let
in
me
there.
take
It's
this
shot
time
out.
to thank everybody for hanging out with us, even though this is not as exciting as it possibly could be, and also do a little shameless promotion. If you guys like what you're watching, definitely give Fox a
Plugs.
little love because they signed my check and
Hot
they
links
provide
time.
this
Drop your
nifty
links,
little
folks, in the
helicopter
chat.
that we
I
can
know
fly
some of
around
you
in.
have channels.
Gives me
Don't
some
be
love. You can
shy.
find me on the internet. You know, it's not a political thing. It's like I really just am on IG, and today is like the Friday photo dump that I haven't been able to do because we've been
Drop
busy
your
doing this. But
IGs.
you know, I just post pictures and you know, things that I find interesting, usually from what I see from the helicopter, and some personal stuff too. Not that kind of personal. And so if you
He
guys
showed from
follow me on
inside the
Instagram, I
helicopter
would
earlier
appreciate
too. It was
that as
pretty
well.
cool.
It's Stu_Mundell, MUNDEL. So, you know, and I still don't have any internet. So
The captions misspelled his.
I think this
his
is the time when I'm
IG
kind of
link.
happy where you guys aren't like, you know, railing me.
Ooh, look at that one.
Wow, check out the cool emblem this thing has. All right, I know.
Yeah, look at that bumper. Tina C, what's up?
Don't let them crowd us.
You watching this, Tina C?
Our helicopter is bigger than theirs.
Tina C already knows what's going on. We got a little news from Tina C also. We'll share it later.
Is that
some
Kyle?
Yosemite news. I appreciate you sending me the stuff, Tina. Much love to you. Hope you're having a good week. We're having a cray one. And
it's not a very good. I don't know if these
life throws those curveballs
for the shot or
batter up.
Yeah, I'm just like looking out the window. It's kind of all over the place. Pick a spot and lock it down there, Sunshine. If you guys could see what I see out my window right now, you'd be like, wow. That's cooler
That
than
chopper view.
I don't know you that well.
Yeah, she went straight up into the canyons. I don't know
Also,
why,
it's one of
but
those things. It's
maybe
like right
she's
now
from up
the
that way.
helicopter's moving around. You know, my pilot's like
But they're
just
not.
almost did it. Like
They get
what,
action, but this is not
40-degree
normal for
turn.
those
You
neighborhoods.
know,
I'm
we're
sure the
moving around,
neighbors are
but you
like,
guys don't
"What is
see it
going on?
because of the gyro
What
stabilized
is really
camera.
going
That
on here?"
we've got other
We'll
helicopters.
see.
Everybody's trying to get over here because this is the spot. All right, here we go.
The
We're doing some
sticks
window
out.
breaking.
Gas is going in.
Here
Heads
we
up.
go. Boom!
Whoa!
Oh yeah, Terry, break that window. Break that window.
I'm gonna smoke
All
her out.
right. Command presence, that's for sure. I know, that's what I'm saying. Well, probably can't lock it down because of the rotor wash. Back off.
So hopefully this ducking option here,
Yeah, it's Kyle. He's the newest.
it's an effect I got
I
loaded
think
up
it
on the
is.
pad. When I
I'm not
press
listening
it,
though,
it's
too.
supposed to let me talk over whatever audio. Before I was talking over the audio and trying to manage it by turning down the line that
Either that
audio
or
is
drop
coming
down.
from.
You know what I mean? Why do you have to be the same
And on the
altitude?
replay, I was like, "Oh man, totally can't hear what you're saying." But
Yeah, no, it's fine.
hopefully,
It's
I
fine. It's fine.
believe this is
We
what
got
this
it. We
is
got a shot.
for. So, and I do have some new effects loaded up. Been working on that. And also with the mixer here, the music mixer.
All the drama you guys are missing. All you're watching is the standoff. You know, in the olden days, I could pipe. I had like complete control over the whole audio panel. Like I could be setting
Super
down
Dave,
like the
what's
pilot's
up?
audio and my audio and the scanner and all that. But we don't have that ability in this aircraft because sometimes the behind the scenes is a lot more interesting than the scene.
And I haven't seen any movement, but I heard they were in contact, possibly in contact with her somehow, maybe through phone or something. I'm not sure though.
Definitely can hear us. I know that they have no rear window. This guy over here is probably documenting it just in case things go south, or even if they don't go south, they have full documentation of what they did. Got to be very litigious.
Boxed up Magneticus, slow speed chase. So I'm glad you missed
Scott's
that part because we know you like
him
them
fast.
fast.
And why isn't he telling him?
And it's a Taco
Here
man.
comes,
Unfortunately, a Tacoma truck. It looks like a newer Tacoma truck. Started in Hollywood, and they're up in the canyons now. And it was a domestic violence, and I believe they say the boyfriend's on scene. And not much else that I've heard. There was a news anchor from Fox. She seemed very much like a rookie. I was like, girl, how did you get this job? And they cut away to, so they were at the station. They cut away to the chopper now. So we're getting the guys up in the chopper. And
at least he
getting the call. Give me a second.
Or did we go? Or did we lower? Did we go down or did he climb? Well, they broke the window out. That's all they did. Let me take a peek. Let's see if they loaded it. I think they did.
Yes, we're answering.
Yeah,
it's
loaded
calls.
with
we're taking
with
it
gas
easy
now. So it's
taking it easy today. Answering phone calls. Actually, speaking of phone calls, we got a hotline now, y'all. I just got to figure out how to set this up. Another phone call.
Just going a little wider so I can keep an eye on the stick. Well, he's got to walk around to the front anyway, so. It's getting pretty low. It is definitely getting pretty low. 15 on station, 1-5. That's really it. Unless, of course, it's going down. I'm just joking. All right, that dude's got a gas mask in his hand, so that's promising. He put the gas mask down. That's not good.
That was family checking in because we got family that were supposed to be driving out that way. I don't know how traffic is, and they cannot be in traffic. So
double checking it,
and they were checking in with me to see if I was aware of what was going on, and I was like, "Yeah, we're streaming right now." So heads up, folks, fam. If you're in the area, there might be traffic.
Everybody's getting a gas mask. Everybody get a gas mask. You guys go away.
Yeah, the hotline. Yeah, we could take. We'll eventually start taking calls. Yeah, you can call up.
This guy's on the phone. He's like, his boss is
what's
watching.
The weather like in your area?
Probably not giving us the stew shout outs, but
here, I'm gonna set that up right here really quick. And again, we're just hanging out, folks. We're gonna be checking out some webcams later, talking a little Bigfoot.
Just throwing it out there.
And see where the day takes us.
I'm making money off of it or anything.
Kick back, relax, do what you got to do. And actually, later today,
but that's not the point.
Later today, we'll be going live with Dr. Dennis Carroll over at Hunting the Shadows. Maybe someone will post the link in the chat. But that'll be 9 p.m. Eastern, and so that's 6 for us out here. Hope to see you there.
What did he just do?
We'll be announcing that throughout the chat.
Oh, he's got his gas mask on. He's ready.
All right. Gas mask
up.
Now.
All right, let's mask up. Robble, 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 robble. Robble, robble, robble.
Yeah,
all right,
more cowbell. Yeah, we got cowbells now. What else we got?
I don't know if she's watching on our app. And I'm just letting you know it's coming. Oh, are they going to use the? Oh, they're going to use the 40 mil. Maybe, because they just handed to this guy, and I saw him pointing. Why is this guy? Come on, put your mask on. Let's go. Do you not know how to put on a mask? There we go. Somebody's going to give me some ugly thing, that I'm making fun of these guys. I'm not. We're running out of fuel.
Just like my love life. Going here. 1 sec.
Yeah, spending all this time. No, we're spending all this time for the setup, and then I can't perform. No, I can perform. It's just doesn't happen. There we go. Just watch. I'm gonna get like a whole bunch of ED ads on my.
Now the number's not active.
On my feed.
I mean, the hotline's not active. The number's active. So you're trying to get a hold of
this guy's got all kinds of guns.
You could leave a voicemail.
Come on. You all got gas masks on. Is the other guy coming around back? Yeah, there he is.
Or if you want to chat vocally or have an encounter you want to share information. And
all right, here we go.
That's a way to get a hold of me there too. And so, yeah,
Here, have some
I'm
of
thinking it
this.
should be pretty easy to set
Oof,
up
there,
the phone
she
call thing.
deployed.
Just got to look into it. There's an email as well. Are they dropping more cans in there?
Yeah.
What's going on?
There's a door.
Definitely multitasking here.
I don't know if she's just airing herself out. Yep, thank you.
Yeah, because she.
I see movement. I see
Oh, yeah, do
movement,
see
but it looks
movement.
like she's going back in.
Here we go.
Oh, no. She's. Oh, don't touch your face. Don't do that. Oh, she closed the door. Are you kidding me?
Ollie threw the can out, and she was able to
No,
take the
they
first
just kind
can.
of deployed it. Oh, yeah, there's like, even I can kind of make out, it looks like she's tearing up. I can't imagine that's pleasant. And it's going to be in her hair, too, and her hair's getting in her face. Yeah, she's rubbing her face. That's what you should not do. I know. Just go into guess. Maybe
They said
she's
she might
like
be, who knows,
crazy
under
high.
the influence of something, but
I mean,
yeah, it's rough. Sucks.
I have no idea what she's doing down there. Day 4. Oh. Oh, there you go. There's no, that's second round. Just go cuff her. She's like, but it's coming out. It's not going into the truck. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, there it goes. There it goes. It's like it's all over her. I know. I think you should help her. Like go over there and be like, get her out of the vehicle. Yeah, she just closed the door again. They're going for load 3 right now, I think. Or no, that was the second one. Oh my God. What is she doing?
Mute.
Man, that interior is going to be a problem for a while.
I heard there's a new documentary about the Eaton fire. Wonder what they're saying on there.
All right, 1 minute, anybody. Anybody and everybody, more for the station that's taking us live. We got a minute. 1 California minute. And yes, of course, we want to stay, but we cannot.
David. So David, was that your encounter? Let me get this straight. The other day on Bigfoot
We're out of
Society,
here.
who's actually
All right,
premiering right
kids,
now.
thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you
All right,
for
that's it there.
everything. If we're going to come back, I don't know. But right now, we got to go.
And that's
This
it
is
for
beautiful
that.
San Fernando Valley. And like I said, we'll chat with you soon.
Oh wow. And so David, was that your encounter? Was that you on with Jeremiah on Bigfoot Society is what I got from the chat? And if so, that's pretty cool. I thought I could have swear maybe shared it over on Discord, but I thought I shared it on the YouTube. And so we're checking out a Bigfoot Society what was it? Day before yesterday, and I believe David here in the chat was being interviewed, and I believe that what was the encounter out of Oregon, I believe, and then we had another lady in the chat who was also Oregonian, and so we got the chat and we shared some links, followed each other, and Big Bird was there, Anna, and so it was a fun hangout there in the chat. And there's OGG Cheers, our friend from across the pond there. And oh yeah, so look, situation is not over, but they cut the feed on us, so there could be traffic out that way still. Might want to check there. And Sharon also stepping in. Welcome, Sharon. Good to see you. We were hanging out last night over on Squatch and Holler, was it? And Squatch and Holler had a great interview yesterday as well. So I could see we're already getting into the Bigfoot stuff here. Squatch and Holler had the legendary Daniel Perez on. And yeah, a lot of people don't know who Daniel Perez is, but he's in my eyes, he's legendary from California and was just really involved with the whole Patterson Gimlin situation when it happened. And yeah, I think he was mentioning like he started going up there up to Bluff Creek way back, I think in the late 70s, early 80s. I wasn't even born yet. And he was already up in the Bluff Creek following the Bigfoot mystery. And he's still around. He's out here not too far. I don't know exactly where he lives, but I know he's in the area somewhere in Southern California here. So I would love it would be cool to meet up with him and just to chop it up because you don't hear too many last names like that in the Bigfoot arena. And so it's cool to see a brother like that in the field and who has so much knowledge of not only the subject, but that whole Patterson Gimlin situation. And he also has a new book out. What was it? Man, we should try and pull it up. Let's see if we can. So he has a news article you could subscribe to, and he's had that thing going for like 30 years already. And I know a lot of Bigfooters don't know because I still haven't gone deep on onto his stuff. And he's got a lot of stuff out there with his newsletter and other things, a couple books out. And it's called the Bigfoot Times. Yeah, if you look up Bigfoot Times, it should pull up his website. And so yeah, it was awesome to see him. And so David was it you, David? I didn't see an answer. Maybe it was him uh sharing his encounter. And you could even share that Bigfoot Society episode here in the chat if you'd like, David, so everyone could listen to your encounter if that was. And there's also, let's see, Bigfoot Society's been dropping them. Like I said, he's premiering now. I'm not sure what state he's covering at the moment, but he's been covering a whole lot of stuff coming out of Oregon. And recently, there's been some uh, episodes where, because he interviews people coming out of, let's see here, Trinity County, California, which we talk a whole lot about here and in the surrounding areas of the Emerald Triangle. Let's see, here it is. Boom. So if you're not, also awesome thumbnails there, Jeremiah. He's got it going on over there. And actually, we were going to talk about my thermal situation out here with the nephews and, thermal footage. But when you go to do interviews with them, you gotta there's some things you gotta sign, and I don't know, it gets when things like that pop up, I'm like, oh, kind of steers me away a little bit, but I trust Jeremiah. Maybe we'll just have him on here one day and talk all about it. Anyway, so the episodes, let's see, the second one up here, you could see. So here's another Coos Bay episode. And the episode with David, I believe, was at a Coos Bay, right? There was a whole Coos Bay connection. And we know Jackie here is out of Oregon and she's sharing some comments there. Yeah, the Oak Ridge Festival, which we shared here on another stream. We pulled up the website and you get a discount if you use Bigfoot Society. They got a discount code. I believe, what is it? BFS, is it? Something like that. You got to check in, maybe watch one of the episodes. He mentions it. And you could get a discount if you're going up that way. And I wish I could make it. That coincides right with the whole Bluff Creek timing when the guys usually go up. Actually, the Bigfoot Days Festival, Willow Creek, California, Humboldt County has and right on the border, Trinity County, they have a Bigfoot Days, they call it, and it's a festival. It's one day, I believe it's just one day, and double check, could be two. Um, and yeah, they get down. You know, they have a car show. There's all types of events that go on, and we've talked and shared that too. But that's right there. So it's Bigfoot Days, and I think the day after or so is the festival, the Oak Ridge, Oregon Sasquatch Summerfest, which really sounds exciting too. And both places, because I've heard up there in Oregon, there's all that area around there is pretty active too. So people go to certain places and check it out. So usually when we do the Willow Creek Festival, we head on up to Bluff Creek right after, or usually like this past year, we were up in the area and some of the guys were down vending at the festival while we were up bigfooting up at Bluff Creek, and people would come and go, and and it's a bit of a drive from Willow Creek to Bluff Creek, and yeah, super hot. It gets really hot, so a heads up if you're going up for the first time, and make sure you stay hydrated. And I did stop by also, so I did hit Bigfoot Days. I usually run into people I know, and people I haven't seen in a while, and it's always fun. And yeah, so Oregon, Coos Bay, California, Mount Shasta, this episode here, Eyes in the Dark, Bigfoot Society. And there's another one. Let's see, more Oregon stuff here, Northern Oregon, which we still have not explored. And just been as far up as Bend, which I love. And here again, we got another one down here. So there's California one here. So that's Mount Shasta, very near. It's right next to Trinity County, and Mount Shasta is actually in Siskiyou County, which is all in the mix. There's Trinity, Shasta County, Siskiyou County, where Shasta's in. I always thought that Mount Shasta was in Shasta County. No, it's in Siskiyou. And yeah, it's a trip on Shasta County. There's this old. I got to stop once, and I've passed by it so many times. Highway 299. Here we go, talking 299 again. There's this old. It's a bunch of brick ruins, and this the town of Shasta, I believe, and it's from back in the day. I'm getting a little text from Star Fox there. We'll hit you up, bro. We're supposed to link up earlier this week. It's been a wild week. Uh Old courthouse, all brick ruins, and it's a historical landmark. You could stop, and it's all haunted there. Yeah, a lot of paranormal stuff there. Never did a full investigation, but got to like check some of it out. Took a little video and hiked behind there. There's a little hill that goes up behind there. And yeah, 299 has had Bigfoot sightings. A little further down from there, you have Whiskey Town Lake. Yep. Fished Whiskey Town. found structures, teepee, found teepee in Whiskey Town. And I've heard other stuff. Our good friend Grantavius Maximus Maximo, much love to you, bro, if you're hearing this. And if not, maybe you get a message telepathically or your ears start burning. He talked about that whole area a lot. Wanted to take me to an area where he's had a lot of strange things happen near Whiskey Town. Yeah, all right, cool. Been there a few times, David. And so down here, this episode, something breached the perimeter. So California, Mount Shasta again, episode 751, Trinity Alps. And there's a Fort Pickett there. Not sure where that is. But yeah, quite a bit coming out of Trinity. And I just love hearing the encounters from those areas that I'm familiar with. Of course, I love hearing encounters from all over. But yeah, big up to Jeremiah. Thank you for what you're doing there. And yeah, check out Bigfoot Society if you haven't, folks. Boom. What else is popping in Bigfoot world? We got a new report. Seen a new report submitted into, and again, going back to Daniel Perez's interview, Squatch and Holler even replayed the interview today. So it was live yesterday, and I seen he posted the live again today, which is good because people need to hear it. And there was a lot of nuggets of gold there. He literally called them nuggets of gold. And there was, a lot of information that I didn't know about the Patterson Gimlin situation. And for those stepping in and have no idea who Patterson or Gimlin was, it's the famous Bigfoot video where it's walking across the river bar. That's how I always explain to people. And most people usually recognize it like, oh, yeah. And kind of break it down, share whatever little bit I know about it. And I've heard just so much about it over the years. I'm still fascinated. Some people are so burnt out by it, but I find it fascinating as well. And Daniel says in his new book that there's some nuggets up in there. He shared a few nuggets with us, and I love nuggets. So there we go. Let's see. Let's pull up BFRO here. Yeah. Yeah, BFRO has been pretty active with their reports. Quite a few new ones submitted. We'll go ahead and click on there. This recently submitted reports. And we have pretty much read all of them. You could see here, let's see. Reports from February, March, and then April here as well. And then there's a new one here. So it's a throwback. And the throwbacks are cool. I like the throwback reports because it's like, you could get quite a bit of information, see what the reports are like back then and kind of compare them to what they are now. Have the reports changed? Are they similar? Is what I think. And it's out of Tennessee, Marshall County. We'll get into that here. And we'll also, we could add, I was talking about, let's see, we could add a little audio with this. Let's give it a shot. All right. February 1985. Tennessee, Marshall County, Class A. Man sees chocolate-colored Sasquatch. Exit woods and across field near Globe Road in Lewisburg. All right, we'll click on that. Got the report there, number 78519, Class A. Submitted by witness Roger Williams on Saturday, April 19th, 2025. Man sees chocolate covered sat. So hold on. Was the sat? We gotta. I'm learning to read stuff carefully now. Man sees chocolate colored Sasquatch. So I wonder, was the Sasquatch covered in chocolate? Or he just had a chocolatey cutter? What kind of chocolate? Because there's all different tones to chocolate, right? Some dark chocolate, light chocolate. There's white chocolate. And so he exited the woods across field near Globe Road in Lewisburg. Hear a lot of those types of reports. Pretty expected, right? You know, you would expect a Bigfoot to come out of the woods. Yeah, we got wood knocks now. All right. Winter was the season, month February, date was the 1st. State Tennessee, Marshall County, location, details. I like that they give coordinates. And then nearest town, Lewisburg, nearest road, Globe. Observed, let's see here. I think I could read it from here. Ah, he does describe it. I saw a milk chocolate covered or colored figure step out into a field walking on 2 legs. It was under a limb that we measured later at approximately 8 feet off the ground. That would put this animal at 7 to 7.5 foot tall. And it says it was one solid color. It was looking up the hill to the left, and it turned to look at me. It twisted at the waist and slight turned its head as well. I'm gonna pop this up a little bit, make it easier to read here. And so it turned its head as well. It did not spook like a normal wild animal. It was approximately 170 yards from me in the open green field. Ooh, it was caught in the open with no obstruction in between. I watched it walk up the hill and out of sight. The whole encounter only lasted about 30 seconds or so. The walk was very interesting. Ooh, was it doing the paddy walk? I wonder. If I had to guesstimate weight by knowing what hogs and cows weigh, I would estimate between 7 to 900 pounds. Whoa. And they were talking about that yesterday, how the Patterson tracks, how deep they were. It is hard to guess because of the weight distribution. Chest, shoulders, necks, buttocks, and thighs were huge. And speaking of buttocks, the other day, Sasquatch America, very interesting live stream they did. And, you know, that's one of those couples. I was thinking about the couples in the Sasquatch arena, like Hellbent Holler, power couple there. And yeah, Sasquatch America also is another couple. And oh man, there was some funny stuff shared. They shared also a cast of a butt print and possible genitalia of some sort. Yeah, check that out. Sasquatch America, the recent live stream. And that's another channel we featured here. I do follow them and do enjoy the work that they do and hanging out and talking Bigfoot with them. Oh yeah. That buttocks reminded me of the cast there. So the thighs were huge. Everything was huge. It wasn't as barrel shaped as Patty. Okay. And I did not read this report, you know, ahead of time. I'm reading it raw here, first time with y'all. Also noticed screams after a couple of years. Huh. A company started strip mining for phosphate, and I heard and felt screams that I had never heard before. Other witnesses? No. Other stories? Yes. I'll speak with investigator about them. Time and conditions. It was about mid-morning. maybe 10 a.m. or so. Weather was cool and overcast, not cold, maybe mid 40s. Environment, hardwoods, and rolling hills and fields. Follow up investigation. So they usually do a follow up investigation report by BFRO investigator Ontario Richardson. And yeah, if you want to check out that follow up, it's all right there. So new submitted throwback BFRO Bigfoot report there for you. And there we are. All right. So another one we've been also following is the Bigfoot mapping project. And greetings to Dragonfly. She's flown in. And Magneticus wants to play slot machines. Okay. Oh, let's see. We got to do this. Boop. All right. Yeah. So the Bigfoot mapping project has also had new reports coming in. And we'll take a look at the latest one. If I could do it. There we go. Boom. And I believe I didn't read this one either. I just was scanning through it and noticed that we've checked all the ones off in the US here. There we are. So yeah, there's been one out of Colorado, Wisconsin, New York. And we got a new one up here in the green, up in our neighbor's territory. It looks like Alberta, Canada. Pretty close to the British Columbia border. We'll go ahead and zoom in on that. Click and check it out. I would think that Canada would have a lot more reports, but maybe it's just due to the database here. Maybe it's more of an American-based website, possibly. Maybe that's why they get more American reports. Who knows? So date and time of sighting. I'm just gonna double check. All right. Making sure you can see that there. Let's see. 6/14/2023. And hopefully this is a daytime report because we'll throw in a little more audio sounds there. So 6/14/2023, 2:50 p.m. So daytime. And there's no height, no sex, no vocalization. And describe your encounter. A friend and I decided to off-road from Chungo Creek. That's a cool name. I wonder what Chungo means. Sounds like a Squatchy name. The Blackstone Gap in the Bighorn Range. We arrive at the Blackstone Gap and started to explore. We notice a bear very high up, perched on a ledge overlooking the Blackstone Gap. We could not understand why a bear was on this dangerous ledge or how it got there. We decided the bear was a lonely black bush perched. What? Hold up. Rewind. We decided the bear was a lonely black bush perched. Okay, got it. Above the canyon on a sheer stone cliff face and moved on with our walk. The bush was 100% staring at us, and we could shake the feeling Okay, we could shake the feeling of being watched. I was wondering if you meant couldn't. We had spent 2-3 hours traveling the 20-kilometer road, but decided to leave right away because of the unnecessary feeling emanating from this strange bush. I now know it was not a bush or bear. Did you see any young Bigfoot? No footprints, no wood knocks, no additional comments. Color was black. All right. So let's zoom in here a little bit and see if we could figure out maybe some towns or maybe it's a known area. So I see white goat popping up there. And then Wapiabi, Wapiabi, Wapiabi. It's popping up there. Looks like several mountain rangers on either side. And that's about it for that. Let's see. If I zoom out, there is a few other reports you could see in the area. Brazos Canyon Wildland, north of there. And so, yeah, Canada report there. Boom. So later today, again, talking with the doc, Dr. Dennis Carroll. Honestly, I have no idea. I have no set plan. We're just going to freestyle it and see where the conversation takes us. And greetings to Di Maria. Tracy, what's up? Yeah, I don't know. I think it was a female that they were showing, actually, the cast over on Sasquatch America. And yeah, it was an interesting cast, I'll say that. And I do like their outlook on the whole topic, the way they investigate. They're very much into gadgets as well. Love geeking out with the gadgets, and they travel quite a bit. So they get out there, they're doing it, and they're doing the online thing as well. So they're working the angles. So much love, much respect to Sasquatch America, and I remember watching a documentary online, and it was about the Blue Mountains of Oregon, and it was Sasquatch America. I was like, oh, that's homeboy right there. So that was nice to see that. Very well done. And I forget the guy that was with him. I don't know who the partner was at the time, but yeah, they seemed like a good team together. But then again, his wife is a perfect match for him as well. So big up to all the couples out there. And then Jane and Garrel are another power couple. Speaking of power couples, so much love to them. Much love to the power couples out there. I know it's not easy. I hear sirens in the background. We'll see what's popping out there. All right, more Bigfoot news. We'll keep it on the YouTube here. And big up to everyone watching. If you're watching on any other platform that we're streaming on, come on over to YouTube. You want to chop it up in the chat here. Got some friends hanging out. All right. Henry May. Yeah, Henry May. HBM's Cryptid Corner channel on YouTube at Mr. May DX08. You can see here he's at 1.87, almost at the 2K. Let's help him out and give him a little bump there. And at the same time, he's helping us out with Bigfoot information as well. So This is a channel if you like interesting Bigfoot news, cryptid news. This is one to check out, to put on your playlist, maybe, or one to go ahead and hit that subscribe to. And this latest video he has up is actually already, it's maybe a couple days ago, I think, because I wanted to do this, I wanted to share this a couple days ago, but he had some recent news. And actually, Henry May and I have hung out before. I forget what states he's in, but you can see in his avatar there, he's with Cliff Barackman and Bob Gimlin, two guys I've also met. And actually, the time got to hang out with Henry May, he was up for the 50th anniversary of the Bigfoot, Patterson Gimlin Bigfoot film up in Eureka, California. And yeah, I got to hang out with a lot of people there. I was in town. I was living in town. So it was just, had to walk a few blocks to get to the event. It was perfect. But interesting. I've always talked about that particular event. It was a weird one. And which we'll get into another time. We've gotten into it before. And maybe someone one day will give us more details. I was a little confused on what was happening that day, but anyway, so afterwards, after the event, a bunch of us got together, a bunch of well-known Bigfooters and not so well-known as well, and we got to hang out at a local bar, shoot pool, and have a good time because of some other stuff went down. But anyway, got to meet Henry there, hung out, good guy. And throughout the years, we've kept in touch like through YouTube and stuff. So hopefully one day we get to hang out again like that. And so his latest video gets into a recent fire that happened up at the Bigfoot Discovery Museum here in Felton, California. Unfortunately, the curator, Michael Rugg, who we've talked about quite a bit, yeah, I guess I don't know if he escaped the fire. I don't know if he was injured or not. I do know that he's okay, but yeah, throughout the years, the museum has gone through its ups and downs, which I could only imagine. Trying to run a place like that, especially I think it's in the right location, but uh, yeah, it's tough even for like the Willow Creek Museum. That's why I try to put it out there. To check it out, and they're gonna be having Willow Creek Museum's gonna be having a website soon, and I think an online, hopefully, store and all that. So they could help generate funds and stay open. And these are cool places. A lot of times these places uh they're like Willow Creek, it's hard. It used to be hard to catch it when it was open, and but we've gotten to catch it, and now I think with Eric running the place, it might be more of a set schedule, so you could check in with him. And I do believe there is a website to the museum, but you could always call the museum, and if they're there, he'll answer. um and that museum has a bunch of other stuff. There's a small Bigfoot section, but there's a whole bunch of other stuff to check out. So yeah, definitely something to do when you're in the area. One second here. Yes, yes. A lot of phone calls coming in telling you there's something going on all over the place, it seems like. So heads up out there, folks. Uh Grab on tight. Um so yeah, there was a fire. So Henry's video brought it to my attention. And there's also been, situations with the property, and I guess, even things being stolen there. They were stealing some of the statues that had gotten stolen outside. One of them, I think, also a possible like artifact or some sort of something got stolen out of inside of the museum that made news, and so it's been rough. And now the fire situation. So we'll see what happens there. I know it closed a few times, reopened, and now this happening. So prayers out to Mr. Rugg, and hopefully the museum stays open because I think it's something that's uh, that's needed. Yeah, we need more of these museums popping up. And what else did he touch on this one? He also touched on, I think he was talking about what's her name? So she's not a forensic scientist. She's a veterinarian, and he was touching on Dr. Melba Ketchum. So he touches on that. What else did he? Yeah, a couple good stories. So definitely check that out. Henry May, cheers to you, bud. Boom. Gotta check the phone here in case anything else is popping off live. It is Friday. And usually Friday we get, a lot of the chases, a lot of things start happening earlier in the week. There was a whole lot of them. And so it wouldn't surprise me if some other stuff pops off while we're live here. So we'll keep an eye out for that. Also, while we're at it, let's see. Bigfoot. I had some other Bigfoot stuff up here. There's Ivy Ramirez. What's up, Ivy? Why aren't you hanging out with us over here? She's over on X posting some things. Nope. All right. So we could transition over to, and this is, it's cool because it is along the lines of Bigfoot. So it could kind of ease over. And that's the whole missing 411 topic, which we are fascinated by, right? So a recent, I think the latest post by Mr. David Politis, he covers the case of the little boy out of Arizona, which we actually covered. I think it was the day after it had happened, or the day of. I think it might have been the day after or so. And yeah, it had came to my attention that this little boy had gone missing in Arizona, ended up on this rancher's property, and the ranch dog, which was a special, I don't know, it was a weird mix of Pyrenees, and we were talking about the Pyrenees. Dave has a Pyrenees. I've talked about my experience living with a Pyrenees, and I love those dogs. Can't wait to have one or two. And the dog, basically, it did slept with the boy until he could get further help. And the boy wandered off 7 miles away from home and pretty much into, I guess you could say, wilderness and stuff until he reached that ranch. And yeah, so it had me thinking, I was like, whoa, this seems like one of those weird types of cases that we hear a whole lot about. And there was two of them so again, this is out of Arizona, but there was two of them we had just covered recently out of Oregon. And actually, Politis's video, he touches on one case that he did of a little boy from Oregon, Ritter, Oregon, that was featured in his documentary. And actually, that little boy is a healthy man now. He was in the documentary as well, but he says, he doesn't remember anything that happened from that experience, at least anything weird. And that seems to be the case a lot of the times with these situations where people come back from going missing and they don't remember much, or sometimes they do remember some weird things, but it is very rare. It seems more times that they don't remember things or they don't say, who knows. And so again, these little boys going missing out of Oregon, it's a thing. And one of them, the most recent one, was the one where the boy went missing out of the front yard, and there was a river, and they found some possible evidence. I don't know if tracks or what near the river. And eventually, it was like a week or so later that they found him in the little further down the river. And it just makes you wonder how that could happen. It's like, oh man, like I don't know. Accidents happen. I realize that, but makes me wonder if there's more at play. Is there something luring these kids, or is I don't know. Who knows? But it does make me wonder. And again, before that, so when we featured that case, we were keeping an eye on it. We found another case. I found another case that was just right before that one, from a little further south in Oregon. And it was very similar. It's like the little boy got out of the house, wandered off into the woods, and yeah, he was later found deceased, unfortunately. And I don't know if they mentioned if the little boy had, I believe they did, may have had some uh, special conditions, and which is always also something to think about in these cases. And it is noted, a lot of times that maybe people with certain conditions are more susceptible to these types of events. Um, and I do have, let's see, in case anyone was interested, because I'm fascinated by this stuff, even uh, the criminal missing people, that's more crime related. I find like very interesting, scary, and something we should be aware of. And yeah, there was an article we had shown last time, and I did pull it up again. Let's see. There's this one here, and that was the second one. Let's see. Oregon boy who allegedly disappeared while mom napped has been found dead, and yeah, this is out of Coos County, so I think that's where Coos Bay is going to be. I would imagine. We were just talking about Coos Bay there. And so, yeah, you can look this up. Anyone interested in this article, you can let me know too. I can send you the link. And so, Politis featured the Arizona case in his recent post. I was like, oh, wow, they did make it to a 411. And I do believe he touched on possibly, I don't remember him touching on this case particular, but I think he might have talked about the one with the river. And I don't know if this little boy here, when he was found in the woods, if there was, I think they might have said there was a pond nearby or something like that. There was some sort of water, if I'm not mistaken. I'll scan through here really quick, see if anything pops out. Oh, yeah, right here. So Gil said, as a part of the search, a pond on the property. Okay, there was a pond drained on the property. All right. Yeah, I'll double check again and see if he was, because I think they might have mentioned some sort of a water source being nearby also. But yeah, so the Arizona case ended up being a happy ending. I also seen a post recently. Greetings, Lorna. And later. Yeah, that the dog met up with the boy met up with the dog again. So they had a little reunited uh gathering, the dog and the boy again, and that is super cool ending to that there. So some good news. Yeah, we share the good news as well. It's not all bad. But yeah, I wish I could, talk to the little boy and wonder what he experienced, that night. And he did mention in falling asleep next to a tree, and I believe the dog that was when he was already on the ranch, I think, because they said the dog slept with them. So super cool dog, and I forget the dog's name. It'll come to me. What's your name, doggy? And yeah, that's some strange news there. Anyone been keeping up with this stuff? I wonder. Anyone got any extra details or information? Maybe you know about another case that happened in some of these areas that may tie in, or maybe that we should pinpoint, or just maybe keep on the side, for later. Hmm. SoCal, it's looking pretty gloomy out there. It's not, 2 3 days back, I want to say it was nice and sunny. Sky farters came out, and the past 2 3 days or so, it's been just bleh, this weird gloomy, and it just feels everything, even the situations that right now happening are all kind of bleh. So yeah, I don't know what do you tell the sky farters? And I do think those things are affecting, obviously affecting a lot of things. So something else to keep in mind when you're out and about. Don't forget to look up and yeah, consider what is this stuff doing? How am I feeling? How are people acting around me? All right. Let's see another bit of all right, here we go back into the dark that we had. I was gonna try and cover all the dark stuff, and then uh, cap it off with the little boy, the happy little boy story at the end. But yeah, no, I didn't touch on this one, and we're gonna hop right into it. Anyone hear about what's been going on in like the New England area? So I've been getting word, because this is stuff that I like to get into, because I like to know about my surroundings, and this came my way, and I was like, whoa, all right. So they say, on this is 25 news. Online concern grows over possible New England serial killer. Anybody? Should we be alarmed? I don't know. But even when this type of stuff happens, I wonder what else is going on somewhere else, But yeah, it seems like a lot of people's attention starting to focus on this situation happening out in the East Coast. And I believe it's been like 7 bodies or so that have been found, possibly in. Let's see here. I'll do a little bit of readings. So Brockton, Mass. In some corners of social media, like Facebook, the idea that a serial killer could be on the prowl in New England is getting more popular. This Facebook group, New England SK, has nearly 9,000 members. In other forums, people are posting their concern that some or all of the bodies recently found in New England might be connected. And the article goes on a little bit more there. And I was hearing also that it's been in several surrounding states that they found some of the bodies, and some of them have been pretty recent. So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird. And then Paradox Fossils. What's up, Alan? Commenting on the sky farts there. Yeah. Blocks your view of the sky. Yes, it does. And I think it even makes you feel a certain way too when that sun ain't shining. It just feels a certain way. And yeah, we're on the coast here, so we get the marine layer. And yeah, but no, I think they've kind of weaseled all this stuff in and makes us think that it's just all normal weather going on. It's all normal. But yeah, back to this situation in New England. Anyone been checking this out? No, maybe. Drop a comment. Let us know. I'm super interested. And of course, the whole situation. What was the recent one up that way up in Long Island, right? Long Island serial killer, the Gilgo Beach serial killer, and they got a suspect. Haven't been following too much, but I was right before they captured the guy. Let's see. Dragonfly says that's why I use a grounding mat. And that's maybe referring again to the sky spring. The sky. Yeah. Yeah, they're active right now too. They're out there. I seen them out there and it's still not visible now. All covered up. Looking all weird. Looking like my background here. And so yeah, folks, we're going to keep an eye on this. Let me know if anyone is following this. I'd love to talk to someone about it. Maybe we could have you on. And anyone just getting in or maybe didn't see earlier, we were sharing the hotline number, which right now I haven't activated the phone situation thing here with my audio face, but I'll be looking into that. We'll get that going and then we'll have people call in. And don't forget we have the email as well. Yeah, a lot of people don't really talk on the phone no more these days. It's pretty rare. Although we're getting a bunch of phone calls today. You could leave a voicemail. If you got an encounter or some information you'd like to get out my way, I'm pretty easy to get a hold of. We'll be hitting Star Fox up in a bit here also. And probably I know he wants to do another interview. I just would have to think of some Dogman related stuff because that's his thing there. And I just don't have much. That's really not my thing. I don't have much experience with Dogman. I know some things. I've heard other people's encounters. I could talk about it, but like firsthand stuff, I don't go out looking for them or anything like that. I do wonder if they're in the areas I've gone to or go to. Wouldn't surprise me. And David is going to Bluff Creek in a couple of months. Oh, yeah. That sounds good. You get a wood knock for that, too. Right on. Magnetic, it's almost time to put out his solar array. All right. So, New England and surrounding states, keep your eyes peeled. And that whole situation, we've talked about the possible one here in Northern California. And that was several years back that this was going on. Bodies started showing up along the North Coast. And people were online also were mentioning that there was bodies being found in Central California and whether or not there was a connection. We did a live stream on that. peep out the previous live streams. We've touched on quite a few topics that are related to what we're talking about now. Uh, Recently, we did a little visit to the Hotel Cecil, where Richard Ramirez stayed, and we also did a little pit stop over where Richard was captured in East LA, which is very near the shop. So that's kind of some serial stuff that we've done recently, and yeah, there's a whole lot of those types of dudes around here, and wouldn't surprise me if there's some running around right now. And I guess if you look at statistics, which I don't have off the top of my head, but I've heard of FBI statistics about these types of people, and yeah, they say there's like for every, you know, I forget what it is, but it seems like the numbers are ridiculous. And even with the topic of the serial killers and truck drivers, there's some FBI statistics on that, which were, I guess you could say, staggering. I was like, whoa, that is creepy and crazy. So the turbine burns a little Pennzoil, says Magneticus. And there's Candy Wolf. Get in touch with Richie from Boston. He's been watching for years. All right. Richie from Boston and Candy Wolf. If you do have a wrench, don't forget you could drop links. And what's this here? Not sure what this is. What is that? What was that, folks? So yeah, creepy stuff. I've talked about when Richard Ramirez was out here in LA, I was a kid, and just that fear. Oof. Heavy. It's weird. And yeah, it sucks for people to have to go through that. We're going to take a look around SoCal, see what it's looking like in different areas. I just described what it's looking like here, and this is thanks to Fox, their Catalina cam, which we do enjoy checking out. And last night I seen a view of City Hall, and man, was it lit up. We seen recently, so at night, and they're still doing it, the casino here at Catalina Island. They've been lighting it up like Easter colors, some purples and a few other Eastery looking colors. And City Hall last night was on some purple like Easter. It looked amazing. I was like, whoa. Yeah, they really go all out there. And so I was trying to figure out, might just have to go there. Who knows? Might go tonight and see if we can get at least a picture of that. I was thinking they were going to light it up green for 420, which they did the previous year. And I'm not sure if maybe they did it on 420, but yeah, it's been purple. I forget the other colors, but looks super cool. And there goes Alan dropping some links. That's right, Alan. Don't be shy. Sipping on some mud coffee here. Cheers. Oh, my camera went out of whack. Try to follow me. Right here. And again, we got to check, or at least I got to check, or I will check, just in case, because you never know. It happens like this. We could just hang out and I'll look at something and then boom, speed chase is on. Just like that. So we're watching. I got a few. Let's see. I got this screen here. Got a couple screens I'm looking at. Like, if I include the mixer and the audio face, it's like 5, 6 screens. It's funny. It's a pretty cool setup though. Not bad. Almost dropped the link to Jimmy Dean sausage. Yeah. And so not looking too bad, Catalina. I see some patches of sky there. But you see that weird I don't know, I guess gray. Just seems kind of gray. The water even looks yeah, live cams, bro. We got several live cams we'll be looking at. So this is La Isla de Catalina. And I've heard so much about Catalina. Only went there once, just for a few hours. And I don't know. I just feel like, yeah, that's a place I could totally, yeah, it'd be fun to live. Probably get bored after a while, but yeah, no, it'd be cool to have a nice spot up in the hills there. And when you want to leave the mainland, you could just dip on right over there. And the ride over there was pretty fun as well. And so, there's always the talks of the UFOs, the USOs, and what's going on under Catalina. Is there a base under there as well, like Malibu and all this stuff? Yeah, some weird stuff happening there for sure. And there's a link to Jimmy Dean sausage. Thank you, Magneticus. Sausage with no cookies. Just how we like it. Yeah, all right, Catalina. We'll we'll check in with you Mount Wilson and LAX in a bit. Let's some other ones I've been wanting to check out that I got lined up here. Let's see. So this is one out of we're going to bounce up to Mount Shasta really quick. So that's up at a ski resort. Not many skiers skiing. Do you like to ski? We're Skibo. But yeah, so this plays at night too, which is pretty cool. And so yeah, we've been checking out these cameras, checking to see if anything weird pops up, and things have been popping up. The other night, actually, on this particular camera, some light started lighting up, which I would imagine maybe it was up in it was on the left side here. Could have been in the skies or could have been in the trees. So it could have been a plane, who knows. But got my attention. And yeah, you never know what's running around ski resorts on Mount Shasta at night, or maybe even during the day. We're looking at it now. You never know. You might get a little person running by, or what is it? The Count of Saint Germain that roams around Shasta as well, offering his white elixir that I don't think I would drink. Uh, what else? Of course, Oh yeah, where are you? Robot Granny. Yeah. Robot Granny. Magic cookies. Yeah, so the effects here, there's a few options actually with the audio interface, the Rodecaster Duo. And like I said, I've been messing with the gadgets. So I got a new robot, custom robot effect that I put there. Threw a little echo on it and now it's like this. All right, what else? We got another Shasta cam that I I really like looking at actually because it shows like the Caltrans pictures, and then it also shows you a time lapse of the Magic Mountain. And this is it here. It's through Medio Blue. Boom. And there it is. So 58, partly cloudy up in Mount Shasta. And we'll take a look at these. Let's check out the time lapse here. So that thing looks like a culvert or something at the top of the screen there. And always keep an eye out for anomalies. And there's nighttime, of course. Let's see if we get a little more daytime action, maybe a little AM peak. And even the nighttime, you got to keep an eye out. Maybe you'll see some lights or something. Oh, Mount Shasta. Nice. Fun little time lapse there. And that was, let's see, yesterday. And let's see if I could pop myself out of here. Boom. There we go. There we go. All right. Let's see. How do we do this? So we could check out these right here. Whoops. Go over here. Give me a second. I'm navigating over here. Arg. Any major plans this weekend for anyone? Anyone traveling, working on any projects, anything fun? Let's see. Where'd you go? Mount Shasta. Here you are. All right. So that's the, Caltrans webcam. And this is from earlier. It's 12:27. What is it? 1:45 now. So that's a little earlier. And we will have a peek at some of the different cameras. This is Abrams Lake, Black Butte. Ooh, someone's got a nice bus. And I imagine this is Highway 5. Snowman. Dunsmuir. Dunsmuir. We've talked about Dunsmuir quite a bit pertaining to the old world. There's been people that found evidence of old world structures being there, and even the whole train. There's old train remnants in the Dunsmuir area that we believe is from a previous civilization. Here's the South Weed cam. Yeah, you ever been to Weed, California? Anyone? It's right next to Shasta, right near Shasta. North Weed. There's the Shasta River Bridge. Weed Airport. Can you smoke weed and weed? I don't know. Depends where. All right. Another one we'd like to look at, or at least Dwarf does, is the Crater Lake cam. And it's also just still pictures, but I found one also that does do a time lapse. So we'll have a little fun with that as well here. Let's see. Where are you, Crater Lake? So also by Medio Blue. So same thing like the Shasta cam. Do a little the time lapse here. And there it is. Wizard Island right there. There goes nighttime. And hopefully we get another little peek. There we go. The mysterious Crater Lake. Awesome. Cool. Yeah, we'll be doing a whole lot of these and revisiting these same ones. And let's see. Crater Lake. There we go. Let's check out some of the roads right quick. You know what we could do also while we're chilling? You at? It's weird. My audio. I'm trying to play music, but that's hasn't been going through. Oh, I see why. Uh-huh. That's why. All right, here. Scanning, scanning, scanning. Let's see. All right, I see what I got going. Let's see. We'll do this. We'll pull it up. Here we go. All right, 1:50 p.m. That's what it's looking like. Let's see. I just took that picture right now. And this is the current view of Crater Lake. Little zoom action just in case. See anything weird. Ever heard of any lake? Is there any lake monsters in Crater Lake? I haven't heard it. Maybe Tahoe Nessie could dip up into Crater Lake. No, there's the old man. All right. We are going through webcams now. Let's see. I got quite a few set up here, so give me a little bit while I pull something up here. All right, let's go to Redwoods, Smith River. Oh, yeah. That sounds nice. Squatch watch. You know, they say to look up into the trees, especially when you're in the redwoods. We just read that report out of Canada where they thought it was a bush up on a ledge or something. So no complaints of the camera being pointed up at the trees like this. And you can't beat that that sound of running water. Very soothing. At least for me it is. Anyone, what are you sipping on out there? Anyone sipping on anything tasty? Carlos, bienvenidos. Bem-vindo. In Portuguese. Again, folks, we're hanging out. We're going to be chilling here for a bit. You know, grab your snacks, grab your smokes, grab your drinks, grab your kids, whatever you need to do. Grab the pets. The weekend is here. We'll run and grab something really quick. Where'd everyone go? Everyone's, oh, there I am. Look, dwarf got short. Yeah, it's a nice one right up that way. The battle. There we go. There's my chat. Finally, we got the Bigfoot influencers up in here. Oh, another example of the power couples in the Bigfoot arena. Yeah, you definitely came to mind. I was thinking about it last night. I was like, yeah, who are some of the couples? I started going through them, and I was like, well, yeah, the Bigfoot influencers. Let's see. Gotta think of another one. I know there's a few out there that are low key. So I'm thinking of the ones that I see, streaming online, active in the field. And there's Lukem. We got Lukem again. And so this is Northern California, pretty much on the border of, I don't know exactly where this camera is placed, but Smith River goes up into Oregon and Del Norte County, Del Norte. Or people say Del Norte. He's back to spook him. We got Lukem. All right. Anyone seeing any Sasquatches? Let us know. Because this is their area. We also got triple wood knocks. Let's see, where's our triple wood knocks? We have a new. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got to get familiar with my new effects here and be able to, boom, on point, cue them up, bang them out. When need be. Yeah, we got a werewolf also loaded up. Here we go, werewolf / dogman. Oof. We got bipedal footsteps walking in the bush. Those steps sound bipedal. All right, let's dip somewhere else. Let's dip out. Let's see. Where could we go next? So earlier, I was mentioning that's the thumb. Let's see. There's the thumbnail. It's the little boy from Oregon. That's the little boy from Arizona. So we were touching on this earlier. Give you a visual of what we were talking about. Should have pulled this up when I was talking about it. Whoops. And I think we should take a look at. I got to start wearing shades or something because I notice sometimes when I'm like looking for something, I look all bugged out. Like I got that crazy stare. I'm really trying to focus at what I'm looking at. I got it. All right. Let's take a look at this. We got a Bigfoot video here. Let's take a look at this little clip right quick. This is a breakdown by BF Tony, throwback. And I thought this one was really weird since we read off a report from Canada, but I believe this one is from Canada, but from Saskatchewan. Yes, Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan. Sounds like Sasquatch. Turn down the audio. Let's see. Let's see if we could cue this up. All right. Here we go. Actually, let's make this bigger for everyone. And maybe some of you have seen this. Maybe not. Let me know your thoughts. There's Hillbilly. Hillbilly, did you I just had a little sesh right quick. Took a little 2-minute break. And here we go. Let's see. Check it out. I think it's pretty weird. Some say it was a cow, a bear. It goes from 4 and then stands up. See that? Anyone catch that? All right. Let's take another look at this breakdown. Little closer look. This is zoomed in. Let me know your thoughts. Watch this. Yeah, it's a blob squatch. I don't know. It looks pretty big to me. It seems to go from all 4s to upright. Pretty weird. Anyone seen this before? Let me know. Oh, wow. It does stand up. Yeah, it's a good one, Hillbilly. I think, yeah, it's super pixelated and everything. It's not the best as most Bigfoot videos, right? For some reason, it's just you got to accept that. And even the original Patterson Gimlin footage was bouncy, shaky. Was until MK Davis stabilized it, right? That we were able to see what we see these days. So for that, we thank him. And yeah, interesting Saskatchewan Sasquatch video there. One of my favorites. And yeah, again, thank you for Bigfoot Tony doing that breakdown. And yeah, if there's any other Sasquatch Bigfoot videos that you'd like us to feature, check out so we could comment on. Yeah, Tracy, you ever see that one? Is this hopefully this is a new one for you all? And Tracy, hope you're having a good day. Always good to see you. You're always active. Just got a call. Let's see. Gotta go. A friend is going to get. Oh, Lukem. Well, yeah, you be safe. Enjoy that. Don't go overboard. And we'll see you again soon. I'm telling you, those phone calls are coming in. They're coming in hot, man. Speaking of phone calls, we do have a number to the hotline, which we will eventually get going here, but you guys could all jot this down. Yeah, that's BD's number there. I'm giving my number out. Leave me a message. Later today, we'll be over on Hunting the Shadows on YouTube. Actually, later tonight, I should say. 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. And we'll just be chatting it up with Dr. Dennis Carroll. I have no set anything. I probably should have pulled some pictures and videos to share and stuff. But I've also noticed I used to really get like that. Like before an interview, I'm like, oh my God, all right, I'm gonna talk about this, that, have it all like lined up, pictures, videos. And I realized, darn, that's a lot of work for the host to pull off. And a lot of you are good. You're able to do it pretty smoothly. But now that I'm doing this, I realize I'm like, damn, that's a lot of work too, because I want to be able to share the best stuff that I've experienced, the best stuff that I got to offer, right? And so yeah, I scrambled myself with all the types of things in my head and trying to find pictures, going through videos is kind of funny. But lately, I've just let all that go, just flow. Hey, we'll get up, talk, see where the rabbit hole takes us. And we'll be doing that tonight. And it'd be cool to see you all there. So come on through. Come on fishing. And let's see, we're going to check here for any activities on the YouTube streets. See, Scarborough Sasquatch. Speaking of Canada, Canadian Sasquatch friends in Sasquatch posted a video there. He's a flower guy too. He lights it up. I don't see anyone else on. Anyone out there planning to go live later? Seen Magneticus Attractus has been doing some lives himself, which is cool. playing his new Tibetan singing bowl. I need to get me one of those. And a big thank you to Gerald and Jane for they hooked me up with some new shades I got to try soon. Still haven't seen my sister. I seen her on Easter. I was supposed to get them from her on Easter. That totally boop. Yep. And some new slaps. Yep, stickers. And that's another thing we need to get made. David, peace later. For anyone coming in, coming out, cheers. Peace. Welcome. Bon voyage. Bienvenidos. Hasta luego. All right. Let me let's regroup here really quick. And these are we're going to be going all around the world here. Cochabamba, Bolivia. Oh wow, Hawaii, Hawaii. Okay, we still got music going here. Norca. Let's see.
Norca. Did you check traffic?
Yeah, so this Skyline webcam, super cool. Oh, yeah, they got music playing. We'll turn that down. And their live webcams kind of just dip around the world, which many of us wish we could do. But actually, if you think about it, it'd be kind of rough. Traveling it could be rough on the body. You got to be prepared, fit to travel. And yeah, no, there's been times where, I've traveled to little places. I haven't been too far. But even that little bit of traveling, it was like, woof, kind of tiring to the point where I was like, oh yeah, I don't like, yeah, going through the, what is it, TSA and all that stuff. Oh man. And I've had some things, there's been some cool peeps in the TSA that get it because maybe they'll have a certain hairstyle, dreadlocks also, so they get it. But I've had people a couple times have me unwrap my hair. That's a whole process. Like, no, don't make me do that. A bunch of hair in there and whatever. But yeah, there's been times where I've just been able to just not have to do that, and it makes the whole process so much smoother. And of course, yeah, you could say for maybe certain reasons, there's religious purposes, there's cultural purpose, certain purposes, I guess you could say. But and for the most part, they respect that. But there's been a couple times where I was just like, all right, just get me through whatever. I'll undo my hair. Hillbilly Herb says air travel should be easy like hopping on a train, but it's terribly dehumanizing and awful. No desire to travel by air for a while, right? Ooh, look at that. Uruguay, Punta del Este, Point of the East, Uruguay. Uruguay. That's right. Uruguay. 'Cause- 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 ' Venice, Piazza San Marco. Totally old worlder. Nobody in this lifetime built that. What's that here? We got something flying in Greece. Santorini. What is that thing? Something flying in the sky there. I don't see FAA lights. Had a little streak to it too. What's this here? This looks kind of weird too. Anything built out in water like that. Barcelona, España. Yeah, there's a bunch of old world stuff too. A lot of the coastlines. We've been going in on the coastlines. A lot of the guys that, the hard hitting guys on the topic, the old world Tartarian topic. The talks of the coastlines have been coming up a whole lot lately. Artificial coastlines. Yep. Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Caramba. What's that? Copacabana. Oh, yeah. Old worlder. All those statues. Look at that fountain. Trevi Fountain. Yeah, it was. I remember that, Hillbilly Herb. Yeah, I wonder how the situation is there with the whole cannabis thing. They were one of the first to legalize. That is true, if not the first, right? Something like that. Haven't tried their, out in Brazil. In Brazil, they have, and I think some of the surrounding countries, there's the Colosseum. Another we're on an old world trip here. They got one, or like Argentina, I think also, because my Argentine friends were the ones who were telling me about it. But in Brazil, you get the nasty, that brick stuff that I hadn't seen in a long time that we used to get from Mexico, remember? And yeah, they call it prensada, pressed. And then or paraguayo, like the Argentines and Uruguayans, like the South Americans say it. That's what they call the brick stuff, but it's like almost like our AZ, what we call AZ, Arizona, was like this mid-grade. They used to call it pretendo and all these other terms because it wasn't quite dank and it wasn't the brick. It was the in between. And so I guess their in between is kind of like the Paraguay, or it could be the Paraguayo, but no, I think the Paraguayo is the press stuff also. And that's what they would get in Brazil. So it would be coming in from Paraguay. It's like, what? And I'm sure they got their local stuff too, but for whatever reason, the Paraguayo, it seems to be quite popular. But of course, now I've been seeing people stepping up their game in Brazil. There's, I guess depending on where you're at, some of these dudes are getting definitely on top of the cannabis game for sure. I've seen some stuff out of Colombia as well. Uh but the Brazilians, they're just good at everything, they master everything they do. Kind of like the Japanese, the Germans, they're just badass at what they do. Whatever they get into. So not surprising if they really step into the herb game. And they should, I mean, they should it's so strict out that way. It's crazy. But like we mentioned, Uruguay is a whole different scene. It's funny. It's right, and they border each other. Sure, a lot of I wonder if you could come in from another country and partake and enjoy. I don't know how it works, but I'm sure a bunch of Brazilians probably go to Uruguay, and I'm sure the quality and all that is a lot better compared to anywhere else in that area. I would imagine. Pretendo, yes. Ah, yeah. Yeah, there's the old school, the what is it, Colombian gold, and ooh, look at that. Wow. Built with horse and buggy. Donkeys Incorporated. Monisha snuck in here. What's up, Monisha? Cheers. Trip out. You're about 30 minutes from Scarborough. So you should are you subscribe to the homie Scarborough Sasquatch? You should look him up. He's always posting flower stuff and does live streams. Cool cat. And then he shares like I have no idea what it looks like up there, but thanks to Scarborough, I get to see. And he jumps on like the local transit and stuff like that. So he gives you real that real street feel of the area. All right, we popped out of there. Doing a little traveling around virtual traveling around the world. Let's bring it back down. So we did the redwoods. Now we go to La La Land. See what's La La Land is looking like. There we go. And I'm telling you, there's that weird grayish, like it's just not clear out look. And in my opinion, due to the sky farts. So obvious. Right on, Hillbilly. I'm sure you guys will make friends. You guys will probably end up meeting up, rolling one up, firing it up, and becoming better friends. I love when that happens. There was a fellow tuber, also he goes by Audio, and he's out right by Midwest Night Watchers out in Illinois. Pretty much like almost the same town. I was like, whoa, you guys need to hopefully, well, you guys need to meet, but hopefully it's a good thing. You never know. Yeah, I don't know these people, but for the most part, I think most of us are pretty cool people, and would love to meet a lot of you in person. Like I could already tell Hillbilly and Urban and I would fire one up and become better friends after that. So Crazy Hollywood, we had that standoff earlier in the beginning of the stream. So heads up, anyone just stepping in and wondering what the heck, what are we looking at? We actually started off pretty hot here. So fortunately, a lady got smoked out with gas, and I'll follow up on that and see what the end result was, because it was crazy. The slow chase, the standoff, it was all like 2.5 hours of a situation going on, and it could be still going on. Who knows? But and then the news just cuts right at the end as she's getting smoked. It was weird. And yeah, kind of weird that it's SWAT and it's one lady. There's 3 armored trucks around her and they can't get her out of the truck. And even way before all that started happening, people in the comments like, yeah, this is a joke. This is a joke. I thought it was a joke because one of the anchors, I swear, this girl is like, she's never anchored before. And I'm like, wow, how'd you get this job? Yeah. What I do have is some footage. So a lot of times I try to share my personal videos and stuff like that. And speaking of standoffs and chases and ba da da ba 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 ba, got a little something to share. We'll see. Where are you? Okay, so I see. Let's get out of here. All right, peace, Hollywood. Check out a few little video clips. I did share some recent footage of some fast movers, the UFO UAPs that we'd be capturing, zipping around the skies. Let's see here. But before that, got this, heads up.
Glenn, check out this fire. This is on the 10 freeway near Covina. Oh my God, look at that car. It's a total fire. What is it? An inferno. Oh shit. There's stuff flying everywhere. Look at that. Never seen anything like it. Oh, it was even hot.
Oof. Yeah, believe me, I've taught Ma Dukes how to do the no look recording. You know, when you need to be driving, but always use one hand and focus on driving, and then do your best to get whatever footage it is that you want to get there. But yeah, 10 freeway, Los Angeles. It looked like was that a Beamer? Looked like a nice car, pretty much completely engulfed in flames there. Who knows what happened there? But yeah, just one of those things, you know, you never know what you're going to see out here. And wild share, I wonder how that started. Man, I mean, no oil. I would think a car like that should have oil in it. How would it hasn't been that hot out here. I could see that happening during, middle of summer when it's sticky and hot and yeah, things just catch fire, right? But I don't know. But they do. I don't know. Was it one of those smart cars? Couldn't tell. I didn't check the vehicle there, but. And is David trying to share? You trying to share something, David? Did I see something in the chat there? Let's see. Ooh, I'm way behind in the chat. It's a little hard to catch up. Let's see. Was it Magneticus? Oh no. It could be, and those things have been catching a fire lately, right? Oh, Magneticus. So here we go. Let's see. Y'all have any of these in your town yet?
You know that car with the cameras?
Those Wemu. What is it? A Wemu. I haven't spotted them yet in person. Like I seen the cars, yes. And there was a wild what was it on Instagram? I think it was this homeless dude here locally in Los Angeles going up to one of those cars, and they're driverless and they had the camera spinning on top. So I guess it's getting footage 360 at all times. And the dude like acts like he got hit by the car and he starts cursing at the car. It was hilarious. This is a good one. We'll pull that up and share that out soon. But yeah, those things have been zipping around, but they have the little Wemu delivery carriers that zip around like Hollywood, I hear downtown and stuff, and they operate on their own. But I think someone might have also a control somewhere, and I hear they have like a speaker so that people could talk to you through it. But yeah, they've been getting into a little trouble here and there too. I've heard some incidences with these driverless vehicles, and and machines. All right, fast mover. Let's check out a little UFO UAP action. Maybe to you their bugs. That on the loop. I know you can't see them because they're looking around there. Timestamp. Pumped out a little short video. See the timestamp and video on the short. If you really look at this clip with these little objects looking around there, some of you already know how to count these things. At least a lot of you like to identify the choppers as well, which is super cool. I appreciate when you all do that. All things. Teaches me. And others as well. Oh, look, I paused it right here. And you can see at the bottom right where the arrow is, there it is. And those are the fast movers, dragon UFOs, call them what you want. These are the objects. These are the subjects zipping around. Here we got a Emirates flight. This one's toward the tail end. The tail end of it, I think we start zipping around. Some of the loop also with sky farts. Mic here. Yeah. Couple fresh new clips there. Still doing it, you know. Still keeping an eye out in the skies outside of the shop, wherever I be. And these things are still out there. Still fascinated by them. And anyone interested in breaking down some of these videos or interested in learning more about these little objects that we're talking about here and documenting, let me know. I'd love to share some of my footage with you. And I always encourage you to capture your own footage. Anyone could do it. And yeah, I'd like to see the type of footage you get. And a lot of times you'll get different anomalies happening. And yeah, I think it's fun. Even when there's not much going on, you could always hunt for the fast movers. They're out there. Give you a little entertainment. Did we go through the thermal footage? Let's see. This is just me scanning up in the Angeles forest. There's nothing, I don't think, in this particular clip here, but you never know. Like that black spot over there. Hmm. And yeah, so always going through videos and you know, checking for things that may seem a little odd. And sure enough, we get them. We get them, and well, I always like to hear what your thoughts are. And let's see over here. Cruise over here really quick and check something out. Sure, I covered what I wanted to cover today. And we'll make the announcement again. Hunting the Shadows on YouTube. Later tonight, 9 p.m., 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. I'll be chopping it up with the doc live. So when I'm not live right here, I'm still got the little studio set up and everything. And so this is the mixer, the Tractor S8 I'm using. And so there's a bunch of pads up here that you could load samples into. There's volume levers here. It's a bunch of effect knobs up here, knobs over here, more buttons, and there's a bunch of stuff to learn. So I've been diving into all this stuff, remembering, relearning, and learning a bunch of the features that you could do with this thing. And so yeah, it keeps me busy. And also loading up these new sample sounds. So, like for example, Daniel Perez, a big up to Daniel Perez again for being on that live stream yesterday. So for Daniel Perez, we got the the goat. So I've been chopping up a bunch of different little effects into the audio face here also, as well as messing with the mixer. So just really diving into the music again, as well as everything else. But at the same time, I feel like, oh, damn, what am I doing? Am I doing something? Am I doing what I need to be doing? And hopefully you were able to see that when I was explaining the mixer there. If not, here we are. Here are the buttons. Was mentioning the volume levers, knobs up here, more effects knobs up here. You could chop the samples right here. These are two different screens, and you could chop up audio samples, load them up here into these banks. There's all these little buttons over here that work with this whole setup here, and it's just a whole lot to absorb, whole lot to play with. It's just a whole lot of fun to mess with, with this stuff. But yeah, once you really get it going, oh man, it's endless. So yeah, doing quite a bit of audio work on that end. We also recently had a interview show hangout with Andy from Alien 8 UK. That was a fun one. Also just freestyled that one, went in about an hour, and it was like I was just warming up. And he's another guy we could talk 2 hours for, and yeah, can't wait to do that again. What else? Probably take a little break here, jump offline for a bit, see what's popping with you all out there. Get ready for the doc, and then maybe do this again tonight. We'll see how things flow. I want to appreciate everyone hanging out. Richard as well. Richard in Alaska. Yeah. All right. Yeah, let's go ahead and close this out here. Oh yeah, what else were we gonna? This was another one. Still not over this because it's still keeps coming up. The whole mapping of the missing people, which I'll keep saying, this map needs to be updated because there's been so many cases since this map was made. There was 2 of these maps made. I have hard copies. Actually, my missing 411 map is missing. Huh. And there was 2 of them that he made. And that one was years ago. This is, I guess, the latest one, but this one is from years back. And since then, David Paulides has reported on many, I would say even hundreds of cases since then. So I feel those cases would need to be added to this map, right? And to give us a view of what the map really looks like to date, and to see if it does match with the map of the caves. And also another thing is that there's the 411 phenomenon breaks off to different things. There's a sobering coincidence, which is like the young males disappearing from college areas, ending up in bodies of water. There's the national park phenomenon. There's even he had a whole series, the truckers, the law, which is land, air, water. So there's air cases, people going missing from planes and stuff like that. There's the water cases. Those aren't on the map. So yeah, for me to say that map is similar to the cave systems map, it doesn't match for me. So I don't know. Let me know what you think about that. There's Super Dave again. Woohoo! That was from way earlier. I really don't like how this, when I step out of the chat room, it kicks me all the way to the top of the chat. It should do the opposite and kick me down to where the last comment is. What's up, Riverside? And there is Smoochy Smoochy. You want to try Amanita muscaria sometimes? Ooh, no. No, I look up what Paul Stamets says about the Amanita muscaria. It says something about psychosis and I don't know. It sounded pretty wicked. Maybe it's just a scare tactic. But you give us the feedback, Hillbilly. I trust you. You're a psychonaut. So I know you could bring us back that information from those realms. You know, that's an art in itself. And I feel like Terrence McKenna was one of those guys that was able to go into these trips and actually bring back some sort of information. You know, a lot of times people go on trips and it was amazing and this and that, but no real feedback from the journey. There's Ivy. We mentioned you earlier, Ivy. Seen you posted and seen your X post. Or your post on X, should I say. So yeah, we'll keep, as long as people keep talking about that map connect, we'll keep talking about our view of those maps and how they connect in my mind. And Dave did say he's going to update the latest map, but he's jumped into his latest project, which is, I'm excited for him. And I can't wait to see how it comes out. And it looks like he got the support he needed as far as Kickstarter and all that. I think he might got a little extra too. There might be some little extra things going on over there with Can-Am Missing Project. So keep your ears and eyes peeled, as we will. And we'll catch you all in a bit. We're going to head on out here, smash our outro, smash the like too. Share this out. appreciate all the new members, of course, the new subscribers. There's quite a few of you, so I'm excited about that. And this is how we're rolling here, y'all. So much love to everyone. Have a good rest of the day, good rest of the weekend, and we'll see you in a little bit. Catch us with Hunting the Shadows on YouTube later tonight. And we are out.